I know you as a very good student of history, and if we look strictly at the economic indicators and security data since 2023, and the wanton clean of Nigerians across the country, does the current administration deserve a renewal of their mandate in 2027?
Who gave them a mandate in before? Before you renew mandate, who gave you the mandate? You cannot enter the house. I mean, it is a Yakubu Mahmoud mandate with the conspiration of Buhari and however they arrived at that. Until Mahmoud Yakubu tells us what caused the glitch in 2023, Nigerians will continue to question the 2023 election. And that is what they are trying to build on, because we allowed a certain level of criminality to be consolidated on. If you look at every statistics in the country, Nigeria is almost an entirely failed state. You cannot have an egalitarian society, a country that has a commander-in-chief, where people will enter a community, go door to door, killing its citizens, and the commander-in-chief can do nothing. Today in Nigeria, they kidnap people. When the girls in government secondary school in Kebbi State governor is an APC governor. He sent a message until today, nobody has answered. Before that attack, we had intelligence that they will attack that community and the school. We deployed military and law enforcement to the place. Few minutes before the attack, somebody gave an order for them to leave. After they left, few minutes later, people came and kidnapped people's children. Who gave that order? Has Tinubu told Nigerians who ordered troops to leave that government secondary school in Kebbi State? And he's a master strategist. Master strategist for mouth without any master strategy on security. Renewed hopelessness, renewed hunger. There are places in Naija State today where terrorists and bandits collect tax from Nigerians. Criminals are running sub-governmental levels under a government, and we call it a society that has territorial integrity. Bandits and terrorists are holding stakeholder meeting in the open in Katsina. One of the police ACP who was killed, Aminu Dayi, according to reports, the head of the bandits in part of the place in Katsina gave an order that part of the, implementations for why they will come for that peace deal is that the law enforcement officers must come in mufti. Mr. Victor, guess what? The bandits themselves, the terrorists, came in the uniforms of the slain police officer to meet with government officials. In Nigeria, terrorists kill law enforcement, attend peace deal with government in the uniforms of the slain officers, and the law enforcement of that country is told not to come in their own uniforms. And that is what we call a government of a master strategist. What a shame. What a hopeless situation that we find ourselves. But we cannot be despondent, because that is what they want. They want this country to be completely captured. Nigeria has almost been taken hostage. If we allow, the people who are surrounding Tinubu do not believe, nobody supports Tinubu because they know he is competent, by the way. Let us put that straight. Everybody who is around him is there because of what they can get through him. Look at the visit in Turkey. Look at the outing of the president in Turkey. The personal physical stamina that is needed to lead a country like Nigeria is quite an experience. The president should be grateful that God gave him opportunity to live to a good old age. Old age is not a curse. It's a blessing. But how do you hold an entire country ransom because of your personal selfish ambition and greed? So you people are standing on the mandate that is falling. We cannot allow that. So whatever that it is, Nigeria is projected that more than 140 million persons will go into extreme and multidimensional poverty, increasing from the initial number this year. It is not any major breaking news. There is no desperation to fixing that. What we need is tax. That is where we are. Shame.
What do you make of a commander-in-chief where 160-something people are kidnapped in Kaduna? Security agents deny it.
Yes.
Show me the evidence if you have evidence. And when evidence is finally presented, they begin to rationalize. And then the next few days, you have 160-something people killed in Kwara. The commander-in-chief does not make a stopover in any of these areas. Neither does any high-ranking government official visit such area. And in Kaduna State, the people walk back home. How did they walk back home? Nobody knows.
We recovered
such a commander-in-chief. Should he be given an opportunity to continue to lead the people in that light?
Does Tinubu call himself commander-in-chief? What is he commanding? A commander-in-chief that is sharing territory with terrorists and bandits. Is that a commander-in-chief? That is what we have reduced commander-in-chief to. So in Nigeria today, US helps to fight security. France helps you to collect tax. Tinubu is in charge of defections to APC. That is what the president is doing. That is Tinubu's role. So maybe he's commander-in-chief of defections or movement from other parties, fighting opposition parties and moving everybody to convert Nigeria to a one-party state. Not only did the police deny the incident in Kaduna, the local government chairman is on record to have been telling his citizens not to escalate the matter because the governor Sani Uba is carrying out certain unfortunate projects around the community, so they do not want, they should cover it up. People were taken. And why is it that Nigeria is the only place where people will be kidnapped in numbers? First of all, sir, how do 200 people get kidnapped in a country? That is, there is no presence of, there are ungoverned spaces in Nigeria. There is no law. That is, people will come with motorcycle. Do you know that kidnappers, part of ransom list now, kidnapper will even add tire, motorcycle tire. They will add provision, milk, Milo. I said kidnappers are the ones, they badun. They go take Milo, they go take Lipton, they take sugar. Kidnappers in the forest, and people will go there. They have network to reach us, so we don't have network to transmit results. And then people will be killed, and then you say that you recover them without any arrest. There is no gunfire. Somehow they just go somewhere. They say, Bayo Nonuga will say, due to intelligence, we told them they must return them. We go there and go and take them. You are deceiving yourselves. We are rewarding criminality, and that is why it will not end. What are the allegations on the Minister for State for Defense? The persons in, why has the government not named persons who are linked to terrorism and brought them to book? What is keeping them? Who is shielding who? That is why security has become a major economic enterprise. The more money you put into it, the more it escalates. We are not being sincere. If we don't fix and end this kind of rudderless leadership, everybody is a potential victim, because today's victims were yesterday's survivors. Tomorrow's victims will be today's survivors. God forbid that Nigeria happens to me before I activate. Every Nigerian must come out to resist this kind of criminality in government.
Do you think the opposition political parties are doing enough to dislodge these people? And if you think otherwise, for emphasis, can you pinpoint specific areas of their failures and docility?
What exactly, or who is the opposition in Nigeria for us to begin with? Do we have an opposition of disgruntled past criminals too, who are coming together to fight against the government because you want to change thief? Is it what we want to do? Remember that there was a coalition, there was a merger that brought us to where we are today. So when you talk about opposition figures, we want to talk about people who want to come out with a different pact for Nigerians. What are you presenting to Nigerians? What exactly is the vision? What do we want to do differently? Do we want to just change it because we are not benefiting from this criminality? And then, as much as you can, I think every opposition leader, if you genuinely, for those of them who genuinely mean well for a better Nigeria, you cannot take the low road to the high office. If you mean well for Nigeria and you know that the destiny of Nigerians, the lives of millions of people hanging in the balance on your personal decision, you should be out on the streets. Buhari protested. Tinubu, they protested. They did occupy Nigeria. People formed Save Nigeria group when bag of rice was less than 15,000. Bag of rice has reached 80,000. Nobody saved Nigeria again. Abi, you know, fear God. So that is what opposition will ask themselves. Am I here because I want to get tickets? So everybody is waiting for opportunity to get the ADC ticket before you come out and stand for what you believe in a country that has given you so much. A lot of persons some of the persons who are in the current opposition were part of the APC government. They brought the government. So suddenly they have also realized that they need to take out the problem that they created. That is why I have always moved the issue of opposition to the people. As much as I call on opposition figures, leaders to rise up, to take up responsibility and lead the charge for emancipation of Nigerians, we must take our destinies in our own hands. I have a lot to lose if Nigeria doesn't work. A lot of them have already benefited from this country. They have little or nothing to lose. Successful businessmen, former politicians, former governor, former vice president, their children are okay. It is me, my mother who is a widow, my siblings, who we know how we have been raised single-handedly. The people around me, children who are in Kwara, children who are in Zamfara, Plateau State, it is those of us that must wake up and form the people's opposition. If we say enough, it will be enough.
Let's look at a little bit of mathematics now. What is the mathematical path to victory for any opposition candidate come 2027?
The mathematical path to victory can even be seen in the mathematical path in 2023. I mean, let us even take INEC's number by what it was. According to them, a Peter Obi came out from a party, took a party that was obscure, that nobody knew, came from PDP, took Labour Party that almost nobody knew, and within a space of how many months, according to them, got more than 6-something million votes. He beat Tinubu home and away. Tinubu left Etiosa in Ikoyi, where he lived, to go and vote in Alausa in Ikeja. Obi won Etiosa and Ikeja. So, which one? And according to even reports from even opposition figures, including PDP, the results that were declared for Obi in Lagos State are less than the actual results. What happened in Rivers in Obiakpo? Let Wike come out and tell the people exactly what happened in that election. Obi won Abuja. So where will the votes come from? So if you add the votes of even Atiku, Obi, and Kwankwaso together, the people who voted against Tinubu are more. He's an unpopular leader. It is, if we even go by INEC's own figures of glitches of Mahmoud Yakubu, who is now an ambassador, hopefully another ambassador of glitches. So that is what it is. The clear part, sir, between you and I and Nigerians, Tinubu knows, Akpabio knows, everybody in the APC ruling party knows that the only way you can win election with APC in 2027 is election rigging. If Tinubu has done well for the people and Nigerians love you organically, you don't need 31 governors. You don't need politicians to carry this billionaire guys. People will vote for you because you are popular. How many governors did Obi have when he got the result he got? That is why they are afraid. They are jittery. All of these are actions deliberately aimed at subverting the votes and will of the people. We must resist it.
Let's be realistic. Many have accused the APC government of taking over the legislature, judiciary, and police, and even the media.
Yes.
As we head into election come 2027, what are your fears if Tinubu returns in 2027?
Tinubu will only return if the majority of Nigerians who are victims of his failed and incompetent leadership permit that they rig themselves back into office. Tinubu will not return if the majority of Nigerians who have been victims of this failed leadership wake up and say we will vote and our vote will be protected and it must count. They have no pathway to returning. Of course, almost all aspects of the state have been captured. The National Assembly has become an APC town hall. When the president goes there, he's greeted on their mandate, they shall collapse. In fact, when Akpabio was recently inaugurated, he used to wear a cap that brandishes the insignia of the president's political mantra. When the president visited the judicial panel where they had their, their meeting of the judges, what was sung there? On your mandate, you shall collapse. So, I mean, is it the police? Is it the EFCC? What part of government? Every institution that should stand, of which democracy is a government where leadership or nation building is built on the strength of your institutions and not strong men. So we have decided to make, Nigerians must realize that there is something we say. They say that the way you sit down, next cameraman go snap you. If we do nothing, then we are going to empower them. We are afraid of what is afraid of us. If all of Nigerians say you are tired of this level of brazen criminality, it will end.
As in 2023 election, the FC minister has been serially accused of masterminding the rigging machinery of the current president. How do you think the opposition can stop him this time around? And what do you make of building houses for judges and even deciding to even add the National Industrial Court? And he's saying he's not compromising them. What do you make of all of this?
I mean, that is why I think Tinubu has a minister for the judiciary in the person of Wike. So he's apart from handling the FCT, it is also to care and take care of the courts. And that is why when you finish an election, they will tell you if you are not okay, go to court. Because the court have been properly taken care of. It is like a general hospital. You only go there to bandage wound. Nothing is working there. So when you see a person, that is why you can see the president of a country, there are issues going on between the former governor and the incumbent governor of Rivers State. What did the president do? Prevail instead of prevailing. What party is Wike? Is he in the APC or in the PDP? But he's seated on the cabinet of the APC and having issues in the PDP. And then when there is issue between himself and the sitting governor, instead of the president to prevail on his subject, you suspend the governor. And today, according to reports, the president is telling the federal minister for FCT to halt the impeachment process of a sitting governor. Mr. Victor, in Nigeria, in a democracy, the commander-in-chief is asking a former governor to hold on with impeachment. That is, if serving minister in Nigeria has the capacity to impeach a duly elected governor, what circles are we living in? What is plain before our eyes? That is why this issue of election is so important. Because if there were free and fair elections, Wike cannot come out to boast that he single-handedly made the person governor. That he bought forms for every aspirant in PDP in Rivers State, from governor to senator to House of Reps to everybody, with whose resources. So the issue of Rivers State is like two thieves struggling to steal and share what does not belong to them. And the real victims are sitting aside. Because the main victims of what is going on in Rivers, it's not Ibogete, the sole administrator. It's not Wike. It's not Fubara. They are benefiting from the Commonwealth and still trying to share it. The Rivers State people, whose resources and wealth have been slaughtered, spent on vain projects, political banditry. We must fix that system. Let people be able to vote and hold them accountable. If not for federal backing and all that is going on, will Wike do what he's doing in Rivers State?